night. I take my chance to ride upon a star. Do whatever it takes to be where you are. 'Cause you're the only one for me. Yeah, you're the only one. Person up on the cloud, I wanna shout out loud that you're the only one for me.
Chat. Today is the day. I thought it was tomorrow. Yeah. This is the most average Elden Ring player you're ever gonna see. Where's my camera? Here it is. We're gonna dive into the DLC today. That's if I get it downloaded, right? I don't really know how big it's gonna be. They just released a patch that was 6 GB. But obviously it's a DLC, so a lot of the assets should be there, but it might be 60 gig. And if it's 60 gig, it's gonna take us a couple hours. And out for another 7 hours? I don't think so. I don't think that's the case too. I click on the Shadow of the Earth tree.
Peggy
yeah, game
16.
unlocks in 2 hours. On my Steam right now, it says 2 hours. Oh, dude, that's weird. Why does it say it unlocks in 2 hours?
Mikula the Kind spoke of the beginning.
I don't know. It says 2 hours from now.
Seduction and the betrayal.
So now I'm confused.
An affair from which gold arose.
The release map says midnight time, my
And so
time, but let me.
too
I don't know.
was Shadow
Steam says
born.
he's wrong before. Oh. All right. Well, probably won't stream that tonight then. Maybe. I might do a bonus stream for it. Steam says in 2 hours though, so I'm not sure. Actually, I might do a bonus stream for it anyway. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I'm expecting low numbers and just to stream it and just have fun. Where we just kind of say fuck it to the people that won't watch for a week. Reset the regulars, if you will. Because I'm not going to play it off stream. I think I'm going to load it up anyway to get our character ready. Okay. Hopefully there's a pre-release for the DLC in 2 hours. It's 80 gigabytes of storage for a DLC. Ah, shit. Sweet, thanks so much for the 44 months. I appreciate that. Okay. Regardless, we're going to open up in a little bit anyway, so I can make sure my character works, get him to wherever he needs to be for whenever we stream it. If it doesn't pre-download before the 11 p.m. release, then I probably won't stream it until tomorrow. It's going to take about 3 hours anyway. But I'm just checking my thing. The console PC release appeared to be different. That's because console doesn't get it until tomorrow or something, right? Or later. They get it later. I know that. Okay. Okay. Let me get the dailies going. Guess the game. Connections. Mini crossword. All right, let me put this together. Get this, turn this into this, do this, do this. And boom. Okay. What up, son? 15 gigish. 80 is the total base game DLC. Oh, okay. That's much better. If it is 15 gigabyte, then I probably will stream it a little bit tonight. Maybe just the intro, get the stuff started. If it's 60 or something, I'm probably just going to save it for tomorrow. All right. Diane Court, is there any new D&D content today? Was that what were you referring to? Or are you just talking about the Unearthed Arcana? There's a Paladin video today. Oh, they're doing it once per day like that? What time is the Paladin video? Do we know? 4 subclasses? Yeah, same for every class. 4 subclasses. 5 my time. Okay. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do our dailies. We'll do our dailies. And then we will load up Elden Ring, make sure my character works. Then we'll flick over to the Paladin thing. Then we'll probably push to finish our BG3 run. For the better or for the worse. Because the more I play it today, I need an open slot for Sam when I play with Sam. And then if we do die early on that, I'll probably swap to Dark and Darker. Then we'll take a break from the stream. I mean, maybe I can keep streaming until Elden Ring. We could probably just do a long one today. If Elden Ring is small. Would you have your hair braided? Yeah, yeah. Honestly, my hair changes so often that it's just kind of a thing. Yeah, I'm interested to talk about the Paladin. I'm interested. Okay. Mini crossword. Actually, I'm going to guess the game first because it's my least favorite now. Isn't it Mario Paint? What's it called? Is it literally called Mario Paint? No, it's not Mario Paint. This is Duck Hunt. Wait a minute, I've played this. I played this. What is this? Pitfall. I just played something very, very similar to this back in the day. I feel like I played this on like Newgrounds though. Okay. Sizzling popular. Sizzlingly popular. I don't know. Fly. Centerpieces at wedding receptions. Altar? Or the receptions? Bird related. Avian? Maybe? Modern payment app. Feeling you might have while pacing the floor. Stress. Tense. Tense, maybe? Vena, blood vessel to the heart. Tube? Sassy little brat. This is bad. The Lions and the Tigers for Detroit. Teams? It could be like icons or some shit. I don't know. Give them the green light too for short. Give him the green light too. Sanctuary. Temple? No, it doesn't fit. This is bad. Oh, lit. Is that... hold on, let me just check. If this is lit, this is not what this means. No. Oh, I did the wrong one. Haven would have been there. Okay. Let's just steal a word and we'll do this. Oh, hot. I assume. That's it as teams. Centerpiece of the wedding. I mean, bride, technically. Bird related. Avian, okay. Modern payment app? I don't know. I don't use any apps for payment. Feeling you might have while pacing the floor. I have no idea. Reveal the word. Cakes. Oh, it is just cakes. Okay, I didn't... that annoyed me because I wasn't going to go... I wasn't going to go plural. I suppose it did say centerpieces. Okay, snot. Snot, sassy little brat. A snot-nosed brat, you know what I mean? Okays? No. Reveal word. Okaying? That is not a... I give up. We fucked up enough. I'm not doing it. Oh, Venmo. Angst. Carver. $16.5. That's not so bad. It'll probably still be an hour for me to download it. So we'll see. Fly, nail, sink, sinkless, washer, dryer, bug, screw, mirror, bolt, line, chair, hook, strike, nut, rod. Oh, Fly fishing, hook fishing. These are all things for fishing. No. They doing that thing again where there's actually more than one answer and it's pissing me off. Screw, bolt, nut. Did I already do these? I did these, right? Ways to wash your clothing? No, eat my dick. Hook, line, and sinker. Rod. Fishing. This one was fucking terrible. You can't... This is... Who made this one? Can I see their name? I'm going to ban them. That was... I'm not taking the L for this one. Chat. This is such a boring answer considering. Right? You had... there's too many options. That doesn't know what fishing... I literally did have fishing gear in there. So much of that was fishing gear. A rod? How can you have fishing gear and then rod is here? You can't have more than one answer in so many different ones. That's dumb. This pisses me off. We do time guesser first. I'm going fast on this one. I can't be... we're going to play a game soon, so I can't bother. Pissing me off, man. Piss me off. Alright. Where are you again, Stonehenge? You're pretty close. It's around here somewhere. Don't think it's this far west. But it is somewhere over here. So let me just do this. Let me go around here. This looks 70s to me, but it could be 80s. So I'm going to say 1980 on the dot. 79. Where was it? Further west. Okay. Should just go north of Salisbury. You see the shit with Stonehenge on the news? Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you, chat. I'm starting to believe the theories of it being big oil. What shit? I'll show you. You fucking just show me the video. Isn't one of the founders the daughter of the big oil billionaire? Is that right? What's quite interesting is that lady there who's pulling her off. Could probably get... Or is it a man? I don't know. A tiny little fella. Could probably get charged with assault. But yeah, I'm sure it's big oil. Yeah, I'm sure it's big oil. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Bulgaria. 2005? Damn, I would have gone 90s 10 times out of 10. God, don't. I'm gonna go Israel. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna get lost. I have no idea. I'm gonna go Israel. I'm gonna say 1968. 79. Okay, it was. There's a very Polish name on there. That's the Turkish flag, right? In terms of the year, I don't know, 2012. Wait, is there anyone with phones out? No, then we stick to 2012. We'll see. That's French. Okay. Let's go Havana. He's earlier. I always forget what Castro is. Castro is before Vietnam. I have to remember that. But got the location. I saw his little face. I was like, wait a minute, this looks like South America. And I saw a little Castro. How do we do? Pretty good, pretty good. Cuba. Alright. Not bad, C. That's a B. A solid B. Close to an A. Water, sugar, fruit juice, or puree? Isn't this like a very American Canadian thing? But it could come from anywhere. I feel like this is really tough. Because really this is probably invented over in like someone like Finland. Right? I'll put France in just because we'll see if we're in Europe. Oh, okay. Directly to the east, we'll go... Wait, does this say... So it says east? Toward the south? Is that what that means? Like Switzerland? Or Italy, maybe? No. That's further up. No, Switzerland. Let's try Swiss. Let's try the Swiss. Although this definitely wasn't made by the Swiss. It's got to be Italy. Grand. Yeah, that ain't... This ain't Italian, I'm telling you now. This is definitely straight up from a cold country. You know what I mean? The Romans probably stole this. Isn't Italian ice famous? It doesn't really snow in Italy much at all. I feel like water, sugar, and then a fruit juice, it's got to come from a snow country. It does, though? Right. So, again, you've got, like, 2 ingredients. And we're talking about snow-based food. Right, a cold country serve ice cream. They'd be sick of snow. No, but you flavor what's around you, right? I'm telling you, this ain't gonna be invented in. This came from another country for sure. Look at the ingredients. Ain't no way Italians came out of that. Ain't no way Italians came out of that. Refuse to believe. It was the Arabians, okay. From snow from Mount Etna. I knew it. The Italians just stole it. There you go. Cabbage, carrot, bell pepper, spring onions, ginger, garlic, soy sauce, corn flour, all-purpose flour, green chilies, vinegar, sugar, salt, pepper, chicken paneer, tomato ketchup, green beans. Okay. Wait, north? So... I mean, I guess I'll just go Indonesia somewhere. Cold? I can't look at the compass. Manchurian. I mean, are we talking how far west? Or northwest, I should say. Let me go Turkey, see how far. Okay, so now it's further east. Okay. We're closer. So we are talking Middle East. Shit. Pakistan. This is Indian? Doesn't sound very Indian at all. Indo-Chinese dish. That makes sense. There you go. Indo-Chinese. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Indo-Chinese sounds pretty good. This one sounds a bit odd. Noodles, beef meatballs. Specifies bakso. Beef broth, garlic, shallot, soy sauce, kebab manis, green onions, fried shallots, bok choy. Is that person in Vietnam? Warm or southeast? So, Philippines? Probably. Could be like Malaysia. Okay, I'm going to think. Yeah, Malaysia or Indonesia. Okay. Or three. Oh, I lost the average score today? Damn. I suppose my India guests only got 3K, but that's still pretty high for average score today. Naked mole rats. I thought that Indian one was really tough. Naked mole rats are eusocial, meaning their community revolves around an individual called a what? Eusocial? A king. I don't know. Ants have nuptial flights in which small winged males are paired with young what? Female? Is that what it wants me to say? Raw jelly is the sole diet of what caste of pampered ass bee? Oh, it just wants me to say queen. That one threw me off. Young queens. Oh, okay. So mole rats have a queen-based society too. A nun named Ugmu is the legendary founder of Wing Chun, a martial arts style practiced by what actor who was born in Jiangfan? I mean, let's say Jackie Chan, but it could be Jet Li, Bruce Lee. Okay. Gotta be Bruce Lee, right? We'll start with him who shouldn't see in Game of Death, yeah. Okay. They all kind of learn off each other. The Fire by James Baldwin, Swing by Zadie Smith, and A Hero by Mikhail Lermontov. All partial book titles that end with what word? What would sound good? The fire comes, swing comes. A hero comes. Okay. A hero falls. The fire falls. Swing falls. Falls. Don't know. Pross in search. Anthony Powers a dance. And Roberts. The will. Actually, it's in what word? Is Robert Jordan the one that made the Wheel of Time? Time? Yeah. So what was the first one? The Fire Time. Probably the Fire of Time. Okay. Unsurprisingly, there were 3 people in Rome's first triumvirate. Who was the youngest? I would imagine Caesar. Let me try and work this one out. I would imagine Crassus to be older because he was incredibly rich. Pompey is always depicted as older as Caesar, but maybe he was younger. I'm going to say Julius Caesar. I'm pretty sure it's got to be Caesar. Yeah. Okay. If we get this on 3, it's our highest score. Panama plunged into an 1856 war when an American saw a slice of what fruit? Damn it. Settling for nothing short of perfection, Japan made what fruit seedless in the 30s and square in the 80s? Watermelon? Seedless watermelon? Yes. Good score. That's a really good score. Nice. New record? No, I've already got 10 points before you. You don't watch as much as you used to, Moosecast. It's kind of embarrassing now. It's kind of embarrassing now. Yeah. Boy Kills World. The fuck is Spies in Disguise? Okay. Bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da bum ba da ba da ba 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 boo ba da ba da ba do ba do boo ch ch da ga da ba da chit ba da ba chit ba da ba chit da ba do da ba da ba da ba ba da boo. Okay, let's get going. DJ Khaled, yeah, he's the root. We don't want to go through. Bill Skarsgård. No, I think someone else. I think I know who I want to go through. I'm just trying to work out how I get to any of these guys. I got a long-winded one. Just trying to think if I can do any better. I'm really blanking on Will Smith movies, by the way. I always just go straight to Men in Black in my brain. And then I Am Legend. And no one's in I Am Legend. Oh, wait. Hold on. If I go through here... I could go through. Okay, I'll do an awkward one. It's not the best one though. I'm gonna go Tom Holland, and we're gonna say Avengers Endgame, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man 1. Then we go for the crazy son of a bitch Terrence Howard, who was in Prisoners, with Hugh Jackman, who was in X-Men. Last Stand, who cares? With Famke Janssen, who is in Boy Kills World. So I got 5. She still has one of the most terrifying stalker stories. Famke Janssen. She said, do she'd mentioned what her favorite book was, and she once returned to her home, walked upstairs, and on her bed was the book. It was terrifying. Joe's in MCU, he fell off. Do you want me to be honest? Do you want me to be honest? I just kind of got bored of this one. Okay? And I don't want to stay here for 20 minutes. Also, I'm noticing the time. I'm just gonna put the title as we're watching the video. We'll do the Elden Ring afterwards, okay? Okay. Alright, I can put my headset on. Oh, this one's very easy because 2.3 billion. In 2012. Why is it not ringing any bells for me? It's like I've heard this before, but it's not ringing any bells. Oh yeah, it's the Oh god, what's this song in? Shining bright like a diamond. It's Rihanna. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have got it. Chat, you suck at that one. Okay. Is this gonna be straight out Compton? I never watched that movie.
Apparently, the side effects of the popular club drug MDMA or Molly. Tannen. Apparently, the side effects.
Lily. No, you're supposed to ask me something. It's my
You're tripping.
We're in our senior year, bitches, okay?
Oh, this is a modern movie.
It's time we started.
You're tripping.
Dope. Well, it's not even that modern. Wait. I've never heard of that. I just came in. Looks good though. The MDA seems funny.
Apparently, the side effects of the popular club drug MDMA.
Oh, Molly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's what ecstasy makes you do. Okay. We're 26 minutes. I mean, I could load up Elden Ring pretty fast, make sure my character works. Loving the new character. Do you know what I based the new character's voice off of? You might have heard it change at the beginning, because I had to open up the video and listen to it for a second.
And I notice he speaks like this. Okay. He speaks like this.
I did this voice. Right? Have you guys ever seen this? Right? So I'm playing a new Paladin, and just as like a temporary character. And he's I based his voice off of an old meme video. An old classic. An old gem.
He's a rich dwarf. Kind of talk like this, right? So I really went on a bit of a journey through, through Waterdeep, yes. I saw a lot of friends there and had a kind of a special moment in time.
Possession peer pressure was super funny, man. Thanks so much for the 30 months. Can anyone guess what that's from? Petey got it. Yeah, this thing.
I can't come shopping on the King's Road today. Yeah, because I'm literally in Burma. Yeah, I know. I'm on my gap year at the moment. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Yeah, I can't believe you said that, because that really reminds me of this time on my gap year. Yeah, I was in Africa, in Tanzania, and I saw this woman with malaria. She had like flies all around her eyes, and she looked at me with this vacant stare, but with a sense of endearing hope, as if to say, you know, despite our differences, you and I are one. We're kindred spirits. Yeah, and then I just thundered everywhere. I was like, I'd been on the lash the night before, been on the rack sheet. Best night of my life. Best night of my life. Yeah.
It's so
oh
stupid.
my god, I can't believe you said that.
So it was based off of that.
You know, just been on the Nash the night before. Best night of my life. Bit of a rack shoe.
Okay. Never heard of this. It's great. Yeah, it's super funny. It's because that's what like rich gap year people are like, or students. Actually, not even rich. Just gap year students do that. It's a great meme. So I just thought it'd make for a great Paladin. Okay. So we are going to watch the Paladin one in 23 minutes. And discuss it. I'll put a disclaimer in the chat as well. Disclaimer. There you go. I don't want any leaks because I'm sure people can leak this stuff. So I don't want any leaks for this. shown to me. I have read this already, but I'm intrigued to see what you guys think of it. I'm intrigued to see what you guys think of it. What can we just... do I load up everything and test... No, I probably should test the character afterwards. I don't know. We did some GTA last night, chat. We went on the island. Wait, I've got to find the chief clip. I've got to find this chief clip. I watched it last night before I went to bed. We went to the island. We did it in 4 goes. 2 of which were kind of my fault for going down. The first time, Chief got taken down. CDD. Your years ago. Chief went down in the first one. I went down in the second one. Then me and Sput went down in the third. And then in the fourth, Gordon went down, but it was our final go, so we carried on going. I've got to find this Chief clip. Where is it? 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 Here it is. Here it is. So to give you an idea, give you some context, right? Context clues. Chief yelled at me for shooting him in the face when he was saying "be careful." Okay. Right. And he was like, "You dumb son of a bitch! You fucking idiot! I was like, "You walked in front of me." He goes, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." I was like, "You walked in front of me." "No, I was saying be careful." I was like, "You literally walked in front of the line of fire, man. What was I meant to do?" Right? Watch this. Watch this son of a bitch.
Oh, is there anything over here?
No.
Besides the bags, no.
Ah! Ah!
Shit.
Oh, it turns out there's a guy over here.
Careful, careful, don't. Careful, careful.
You're an idiot. What the fuck would you walk in front of my
I didn't walk in front of you.
You walked
I didn't fucking walk in front of you. I'm trying to get out of your way. I said careful, and you kept shooting.
Yes, because I was shooting the guy.
You're a dumbass.
You walked straight in front of me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you fucking did.
You're British. You're not even bumping.
The war doing this to us.
Now what?
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know. He just got me so fucking smashed, dude. Because look at him. Look at how like blatant he walks in front of me.
Careful, careful, don't.
Look, at this point, it's not even turning. You just.
Careful.
You're an idiot. What the fuck would you walk in front of me?
I didn't walk in front of you. I didn't fucking walk in front of you. I'm trying to get out.
It's fucking rage. It's so funny. Holy shit. Sput linked me an amazing clip yesterday, though. This, I would have blown up for this. Look at this.
That would probably work. All right, so Dad, listen. Yeah, I think we're all gonna die. We're on a hill.
We're all dying right now.
Oh,
Be fine, fellas.
you really think so, Dad?
Goodbye, Gordon. Oh, yeah, of course. You'll be a-okay. You guys making your way down?
Oh my
God! Yeah, we are making our way down. Dad, I love you so much, Dad. You're the best dad I could have ever asked for.
Which way did you go, fellas?
We're by the airbase right now.
Oh, okay. So you guys are doing all right?
Yeah, we do okay.
I was crying my laughter yesterday when we were just power gaming fucking Sput's backstory with him going and fucking piercing his face because he saw his parents break up. Holy shit, that's so funny. Yeah, the cape just throws the cape to the ground. I was just cracking up at the imagery. And then yeah, we managed to get into the mansion.
Wait, right here.
It was Ghost. It was a ghost.
You saw that too? There was something weird. Like a mounted machine gun or something. What the fuck? Where are we?
Welcome to the cellars, pussy.
It's like amnesia.
Right here. Right fucking here. We made it.
Whip that bad boy.
Right.
Yeah!
Yeah!
So he gets like 5K here, right?
$5,000.
He did not want to share, dude. He did not want to share. It's so funny. He did not want to share his cash. He only did it because of the peer pressure of Sput saying it as well. This motherfucker would happily take $1 million from you, but the moment he has to share a fucking burger, he loses his mind. Doesn't walk into no show. No, we managed to get there finally. So we pushed into the governor's mansion, managed to get the loot finally. There's a really sad moment. I've got to send in feedback to Snow. They need to change the button for calling for help when you go down this island. It is the same button as your inventory, right? To pay 2.5k and lose your entire inventory, right? And you get like muscle memory, right? Because you're constantly opening up your inventory to like, eat your food, all that kind of stuff, right? I went down and they were getting me out. I was on the boat and I accidentally pressed it. And I had a pump action shotgun that was like 75% durability. It was like a near perfect shotgun. And I was so excited. I was like, I'm not going to show these guys it until we get home. And I was pumped because I was lost $666. I was going to be like, yeah, check this out. I've wanted a pump shotgun. I mean, I want a machine gun with fully loaded out deck stuff, right? Like I've got one, but it's mostly broken. I'll have one gunfight with it. But I wanted this shotgun done because it's just it was going to be so badass to come out into a situation like we attack someone's base and you go in with a shotgun, you could just go bang, bang. It'd be so sick. But unfortunately, yeah, it disappeared because the button is the same. So I've got to ask him, can he change it to like any of the other buttons? Any other button, I don't think I'd do. But the other one would be rough. Would that be intentional to prevent people from dropping things while down? Good question. Maybe. Well, do you know what they should do then? If that is the case, do F2 and it says comes up with a warning. Are you sure you want to do this? Because otherwise you might even fat finger it. Yeah. Yeah, it happened on the same stream to Chief, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like a case of we need to I don't know. I don't know. It'd be nice if they just gave you a warning. Was there anything else that happened on yesterday's one? I don't think so.
I never.
Oh, yeah. No, this is the last clip I'll show you. This is what I think it is, based on the location. I'll give you a series of sounds you have to make. Okay. Listen to this little... I tricked him, right? I wanted him to do one thing, and I managed to get him to do it.
Yeah.
Monkey. Cat.
Meow.
Race car. Doorbell.
Ding dong.
Elephant. Lady moaning sexually. Classic. It's so funny because I wanted to trick him into doing it, and I knew he wouldn't do it unless I tricked him, right? And it's the same association games you do that, like, what does a cow drink thing, right? And I knew it would work on him, and it was so fucking funny when it did. I just thought about it, I was like, yeah, how do I get Chief to do this stupid weird sound and embarrass himself? And he just fucking you could just treat him like he's a little kid, right? And you just fucking get him to play a little game. It's so funny. Yeah, socially hacked his ass. So funny. Oh dear. All right. So ES spell. So just like looked at me. That's funny. I need to buy a shit ton of bandages if we're gonna do that shit again, by the way. So, what do you guys... Oh, not F. What's the button to put this into max? That one. What do you guys expect out of this? 125? Fuck, it's so expensive. Maybe I'll just do a shit ton of fishing next time I'm on. Monk waiting room. I'm excited for the... I'll tell you the ones that I'm most excited to listen to and see you guys' reaction to. I think Warlock, Monk, and a couple others are really... It was 175 last time, so it's cheaper now. That's good. You're not going to implement the new 2024 handbook into what you into your games? Interesting. Or do you mean Paladin in particular? As a whole, interesting. See, I'm the opposite. I want change. I much prefer a lot of the changes in the book. I think the conditions that they showed in the Unearthed Arcana were great. I think the fight is so much better than what we saw yesterday. The subclass we've seen so far, much better. Weapon masteries are great. I don't think I can go back to Martial without weapon masteries, without feeling a little disappointed. Natasha, do not change it like Sci-Fi and Rogue. Someone like Rogue? Yeah. There's a couple of wording changes in some things, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. What are you hoping for the Paladin in general? I'm not going to, but this is my first time DMing. That makes sense. Though I will say, getting used to the new one's going to help you because I think every book coming out from now on is going to be the new one. So if you want new content, Smite like in 2014, okay. I'm hoping they break down some... There are some decisions that I'm like, about. Right? And I'm hoping that they break those down in this. So I can understand what their design choice was. We'll see. Have they got one of these tomorrow as well, chat? Are they doing one every day from now on, so they've done all the classes? I'm not sure. This is today's plan, though, okay? We watch this. It's probably about, what, 30 minutes? Just under. Discusses overall. Open up Elden Ring just to make sure my character works. See if I have to reset anything on him. Then maybe Baldur's Gate until we die. Then Dark and Darker until Elden Ring, maybe. And maybe we'll play some Elden Ring later, I don't know. More things you do in lands live hands, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm excited to be able to talk about this though. It's gonna be cool. When I got the book and I started reading through it, I was like, God, I'm not gonna be able to talk about this for months. I didn't realize they were gonna do these videos, so it's helpful. The boys, it's gonna only be me and Sam to begin with. Although if Sam gives me another cancellation, I will do it without him. It'll be on Monday because he's busy with Benji today, and then tomorrow I said I'm doing Elden Ring, so I might do. If Sam can't do Monday, I'll probably find someone else to do it with on Monday just to test it, and he can just join the 4-man. I want to get it going before the hype kicks into it, and then everyone's doing it, you know. Because then it won't be really worth streaming it. Yeah, so if he can't do Monday, I'll just find someone else to do it with. Which is fun, baby. I think Kraken might enjoy it. Oh, Kraken's on holiday. Yeah, I can find someone. Alright, 5 minutes. I'm intrigued to see what you guys think of this one. I've never been super invested in Paladins in general. I don't mind them. I just think of the three like major martials, the Paladin, the Fighter, and the Barbarian. Of the three there, I'm actually far more of a Fighter Barbarian fan than I am Paladin fan. Sci-fi would be fun today, but yeah. But I don't really rate. I don't think Paladin are lowly though. I play a Paladin over a Cleric most, like, 9 times out of 10. Just because I like the theme of it more. But, I've never been a huge Paladin fan. But there's some interesting changes. And they got cool subclasses, Paladin. Let me also get up all of the subclasses they've got on a. And bring up D&D Beyond on my side screen, so I can compare stuff. Trying to remember what oaths are in this. I think I remember a couple. Monk, Barb and Fighter now, Marshals? What do you mean? I don't really force people to do the vows properly. I think you can design your own vows. What up, Sam? Or 3 minutes. I can't remember what other oaths are in this. I have it ready to go when we do. The players be pretty free about it. Yeah. Yeah. Design your own oaths. I think I've always liked World of Warcraft's like design around how people use light magic, and it's more about redemption was the fourth one I'm missing. Okay. Where you can draw upon the light with conviction. As long as you're convicted to a goal, you can draw upon the light. And I've always liked that as just a more general use of Paladin, where you are just drawing upon the conviction you have towards a goal, more so than being restricted by certain oaths that are being upheld. Okay. Yeah, I've got to be careful, chat, because I don't want to... I don't know what's been revealed to you guys yet. You know what I mean? Alright, I'm going to stop my own music and bring this video up. Glory's an interesting choice. Glory is pretty much just straight from like Tarshish / Mythic Odyssey, so it's already kind of undergone the new changes. There is a new thing that I wonder if they'll touch upon that I'm interested to speak about. Oh, you're talking about the categories, yeah. But disclaimer, chat, like I said before, I've read all of this, and I've seen the new player's handbook, but I can't talk about any of the bits under it. I'm under NDA, but if you have seen any spoilers or anything like that, I'll be banning those, because, or leaks or anything, because I don't want to support people who are leak stuff. So don't post any leaks or anything. If you have seen them, I will know. So we'll see. I'm interested to see what you guys think. There's some stuff I really, really like about this. There's some stuff I'm like, what's the design choice here? No. They're like the top, like... Those, like, 7 there were, like... They're in with Wizards. They're good friends with Wizards. They just trusted me to read it, that's all. So that I could create content for it when it comes out. I'll try refreshing it. Maybe it'll start. I'll be able to release content before the release of it, but not until the embargo lifts. And I don't even know if I can tell you when that is. It's a peculiar opening screen. This feels like a free intro you find online. Default YouTube thing? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Them into a Jeff Keighley event? Yeah, it does. Does it have a timer? Live stream? No, it's a pre-recorded video. It's premiering. What's the chat saying? Warlock when? Smite makes right. But the main question is, will the Paladin throw it back? It's true. I, for one, don't like Paladin smites to work for all melee weapon moves. It should be limited to melee or thrown weapons, but not simply ranged weapons like bows or crossbows. It's not very Paladin-like to me. Yo, this guy's based. More RP feats and spells, please. Zone of Truth is my jam. Truth. What is this music, man? New edition, yeah. I put new Paladin. My actual prediction is Wizards of the Coast cave to the Winers and revert Divine Smite to 2014 version. Let's see. Let's see. When does it start? Here we go.
One of the things you'll notice as a Paladin player immediately when you see the new player's handbook is that your spellcasting has moved from level 2 to level 1. And so you will begin being able to cast spells right away. And this also has a carry-on effect for multiclassing, that if you multiclass now, you will get more slots out of the Paladin part of your multiclass mix
Paladin level 1
than you
sucked.
did before. And when we talk about the Ranger, we'll see that a similar thing happened there. We did this because we wanted Paladin players to start learning how to use their spells right away, because spells are a key part of the Paladin's kit, and having it at second level before meant you were waiting to learn how to
I only
use
remembered you can't do it
one of
when
the
I
most
played my
important
Paladin
parts of
level
your
1,
class.
and I
So
realized you
now
don't really
there's
have
no
anything.
wait. You start right away at first level learning some spells, which you'll then need to know all about when you get to level 2 and you start doing Divine Smite.
Yeah.
At level 1, you don't just get spellcasting now, though. You still get Lay on Hands, that iconic ability that Paladins have to heal themselves and others. And you also get Weapon Mastery. And so that means that Paladins, too, are going to get to play with all of the fun that Weapon Mastery brings to any of our classes focused on weapon use. Now, when you get to then level 2, there's more new stuff waiting for you. And at first, you might look at the class feature table for the Paladin and see, oh, fighting style, I had that before. But there's actually a lot of change hiding in there, good updates for the Paladin, because now, when you choose your fighting style as a Paladin, you are no longer restricted to a curated list like the Paladin was in 2014. You now have access to the full fighting style list that fighters also have access to.
Okay, interesting.
And you also have the option to forego choosing any of those and instead learning some cleric cantrips.
This is really cool.
So if you decide that you'd rather be more of a spell
That was in Tasha's though, right?
paladin rather than leaning harder into your weapon use, you now have that option in the fighting style feature at level 2.
Okay.
This is a part of a theme of us providing more customization options where it made sense in each of the classes. You also now get a feature called Paladin's Smite. This was called Divine Smite
in
2014. It's now called Paladin's Smite because it actually now gives you two things. In 2014, this feature allowed you to use the class's iconic Divine Smite ability where you burn a spell slot and deal a bucket load of extra damage to a target you just hit. Divine Smite still does that. Divine Smite, though, has now been packaged as a spell. And then the Paladin Smite feature, in addition to giving you that spell and allowing you to always have it prepared, also now lets you cast Divine Smite once per day without burning a spell slot. So what that means is Paladins now every day get a freebie Divine Smite. And so that's going to relieve a little bit some of the pressure on their spell slots. We did this so that Paladins could certainly just use all their spell slots to cast Divine Smite, but we also wanted to make it just a smidge easier for Paladins to cast some of their other spells if they so choose.
Thank you, pal.
Now, when we get to level 3, where you pick your subclass, you also get Channel Divinity, and here there's a really nice upgrade for Paladins in terms of the number of uses of Channel Divinity they get. It used to be that a Paladin got exactly one use of Channel Divinity, and then that was restored upon taking a short or a long rest. Now, you get 2 uses to start, and every time you take a short rest, you get 1 use back, and then when you take a long rest, you get all your uses back.
Going to change up a fair bit with how it's used.
That 2 turns into a 3 when you hit level 11, so you're going to be able to use your Channel Divinity far more often than you could before. We've also taken the Divine Sense feature that Paladins used to have and turned it into a Channel Divinity option, and in the process, we've also made it last quite a bit longer. So if you do decide to use Divine Sense, rather than it lasting only 1 round, which was how long it lasted in 2014, it now is going to last 10 minutes. And we increased its duration, not only because you're now using your Channel Divinity on it, but also to make it easier to use, particularly in social interaction and exploration scenes. You know, the classic circumstance of the Paladin is at the Queen's Ball and is trying to figure out which of these partygoers is actually a demon or an undead in disguise.
Right. It's a lot better. I like that a lot more.
Longer duration will allow the Paladin to get a bit more bang for their buck when they decide to use Divine Sense. We also, at level 5, have made it so that all Paladins now get the Find Steed spell for free.
This is something I don't like.
It prepared, and they can cast it once per day without expending a spell slot. Find Steed is an iconic Paladin spell, and we decided we did not want a Paladin to have to use up one of their preparation slots.
I just think Find Steed is so specific
and we also
to the
wanted
character.
you to be able to use it at least once per day without having to use one of your precious few slots, since Paladins and Rangers do have fewer spell slots than many of our other spellcasters. And then on top of that, the Find Steed spell has been completely redesigned
I don't want to be Mount Command? Yes, exactly.
for the Paladin, so that
That's how I
the
feel
steed
about it.
can now get more powerful depending on the level of the spell slot you use to cast the spell. And the steed is now not reliant on particular animal stat blocks, but instead has a stat block all its own, specially designed for the Paladin.
Perfect.
So you really feel like you are summoning this
cool.
otherworldly
If you're into
creature.
I feel like it would have been better as a
isn't
subclass.
Just a horse or some other creature that you're riding around on, but is this otherworldly being that is there to work with you really as
Personally, I'm not a fan of flying
companion,
steed. I think the
this-
flavor of
this
someone riding
faithful
around on a fucking
companion
horse
there
inside a
to
cave is
assist,
dumb. I
the
don't
Paladin
like
and
it.
The Paladin's friends.
That's amazing.
I am hoping that
So,
with this change, many
Outside,
Paladins
fine.
will feel more empowered to
I'd have liked more to do
these
with it.
really cool companions present on their adventures.
And that's again living out that fantasy and honing in on that wish fulfillment of.
I personally would
wanting
have
to
preferred
smite
if it could do more.
and
Like,
also getting that steed.
You can cast it to get like a
sooner
Holy
and
Spirit
easier.
with you at all times.
Absolutely.
And you have like a little almost spiritual weapon kind of thing, then it would be cool. Like, you know, you ride your horse around and then when you go in a cave, you have this like glowing ghost.
Foes,
Some shit like that.
And this gives all paladins
I don't like riding around on horses inside caves and dungeons.
A number of our paladin subclasses in the past had a channel divinity option that was very similar to Abjure Foes, but it was sort of slightly changed in a number of the subclasses. We decided to take those variants, create a universal version that all paladins are happy to have, and now built it into the base class.
Okay.
We also did some under the hood work on the paladin's aura. Partly by turning it into a single aura that gains additional abilities. Previously, the Paladin, and particularly based on whatever subclass you ended up picking, would end up having multiple different auras, some of them with different radii.
Yeah.
And it could start getting quite confusing keeping track of like all of your different auras and how
This feels
big is
mostly
this
a buff,
one
which
versus
is good.
that one.
Yeah.
So we sort of cleaned up the whole aura game for paladins by, in the base class and then also in the subclasses that are in this book, all of the auras that used to be different auras before are now all one aura that simply gains new functionality. So it's going to be far easier for the paladin to keep track of what's going on because the paladin now has just one aura that just gains cool new features as the paladin.
It really
goes
helps
up.
subclasses that have
The
smaller
aura
auras because they're now
also
bigger.
Makes use of a new type of area of effect that we've introduced in the new player's handbook. And it is an area of effect that has been in the game for the last 10 years, but didn't have a name. And we decided to finally give it a name. And I'm bringing it up now while talking about the Paladin because it's specifically for things like auras and other effects that emanate outward from a particular creature or object. And so this area of effect is called the emanation. We've seen it all over the place in 5th edition over the last 10 years. Basically, anytime you read a feature or a monster ability or a spell that talked about creatures within a certain radius being affected by something,
flip things to the
that
6
was
months.
basically an emanation.
Looking my
it
way
just
downtown.
wasn't called that.
Yeah.
So we have
Sitting
now
back,
given that
voiding
area of
chat,
effect
'cause I
a
got
name
to.
and given it its own definition, just as the other areas of effect in our system have definitions. And you can now find all of those definitions in the Player's Handbook's rules glossary. One other thing in the Paladin that I wanted to chat about, because this is the first of the spellcasting classes that we have talked about, is the new approach to spell lists. So each spellcasting class now has its spell list inside the class description. So rather than making a paladin or a ranger or a warlock or another
go all the way back to the end of the book.
Instead, it's right there in the class description. But in addition to that, we have worked to make the spell list that's in your class more useful for you. And we've done that by not only giving you all the spells by name, but also every spell's school of magic is listed. We also tell you if the spell on your list requires concentration. We also tell you if it's a ritual And we also tell you if it has a specific component
That's such a good image, by the way.
must have to cast the spell. So in those cases, when a component has a specific cost or the spell consumes the component, you must have that component to cast that spell. And so we now tell you in your class spell list if the spell has a required component. So that you now have sort of one-stop shopping for your spells, and you can see at a glance what the spell School of Magic is, if it requires concentration, if it's a ritual, and if it has a specific component you must have to cast it.
This is all meant for if you're a player and you play Paladins or Warlocks, you have less pages you need to traverse to understand what you have and what you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Paladin subclasses have all received some fun updates, starting with the Oath of Devotion.
Yeah, let's start with the Oath of Devotion. What is new here?
One of the biggies right away is the Oath of Devotion can now activate their Sacred Weapon feature as part of the attack action rather than sacking their entire action to do it.
That's good. Yeah.
In the past, it was so punishing to have to use your entire action to activate it that many Paladin players just decided not to use it. Now, as a part of attacking, you can simply decide, I'm going to activate this. We have also replaced in the Oath of Devotion the feature that was previously called Purity of Spirit with a new feature called Smite of Protection. And what this now does is when you use your Divine Smite, because the Oath of Devotion Paladin is the classic knight in shining armor who is there to protect others, it now means that when you use Divine Smite, you and your allies in your aura of protection have half cover for a limited time.
Pretty strong.
So you have this magical protection that gives you the full benefits of half cover, even if you're standing out in the open, as long as your friends are in that aura of protection. And so this gives a nice feeling
Plus 2
being
AC.
a guardian, even when you're
Plus 2
blasting
AC, and I think
your
advanced
foes
on dex
with
saves?
Divine Smite.
I remember
We've
right.
also made it so that the level 20 ability,
Very strong.
Holy Nimbus, is now usable as a bonus action instead of an action, because we want you to be able to activate it and then keep going on your turn, rather than essentially spending an entire turn getting ready to do something. And there are a number of places in the player's handbook where abilities that really are just turning on a state have often now been changed from being an action to a bonus action, or in some cases, like with Sacred Weapon in Oath of Devotion, don't require an action or a bonus action at all, and instead are absorbed into another action. Because again, in many cases, we want you to get to the fun faster. The Oath of Devotion is joined by the Oath of Glory. This for me
not
is
many
often the
changes.
Paladin who, if they were in a movie, would look at the camera, have impossibly white teeth with a little sparkle on them as they smile. The Oath of Glory appeared previously in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, as well as in Mythic Odysseys of Theros.
Yeah, that's where it first came from.
And it has evolved a bit on its way to the player's handbook. And two of the main evolutions that I think are worth talking about here. One is the Peerless Athlete feature now lasts for an hour rather than 10 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
This feature is especially useful in exploration contexts.
Exactly, yeah.
And so we wanted it to be more useful in that pillar of adventure. The other big change is to Aura of Alacrity. The new feature here is that it not only benefits your allies who start their turn in your Aura of Protection, but also if they enter that aura on their turn. This is a really major change, because before
stronger.
the Aura of Alacrity, which speeds you and your allies up. It's all
The good thing is what they've done for the most
the
part
Paladin allowing you all
is they keep buffing
to
things instead of
charge
nerfing
forward
things for the
into
most part.
battle or some other situation.
A couple of
more
things are a
quickly.
bit awkward.
the way it was designed before, it was actually extremely difficult sometimes for it to even do anything for your friends because they had to time it so that they started their turn in your aura, which can actually be more complicated than it sounds when everyone is taking turns in a particular order. This change now means that no matter when a person's turn is relative to the Paladins, and no matter where they are on the battlefield, as long as they make sure to pass through the aura on their turn, they will suddenly get the speed boost.
That's super helpful. Otherwise, really weird on the battlefield.
Yes, where it's sort of, you can have a whole lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
One other thing I would love to mention about Oath of Glory that relates actually to all of the Paladin subclasses is that we have vetted their oath spell lists in each subclass. And so players are going to see, not only in the oath spell list, but also when you get to the cleric, the domain spell list, and in the warlock, the patron spell list. All of these lists have been vetted and in many cases updated with different spell options. I'm thinking of this now while we're talking about the Oath of Glory, particularly because the Oath of Glory list in getting updated even includes a brand new spell appearing in this player's handbook for the first time. So when you reach level 17 as a Paladin, and if you have the Oath of Glory subclass, you get a brand new spell in the game called Yolan's Regal Presence. And this is a spell created by the Queen of the Elves in the world of Greyhawk, and it allows the Paladin and anyone else who casts the spell to, as it says in the name, have an extraordinarily regal presence that will cause people to like fall down on their knees and also potentially take psychic damage from just how glorious you are. But I wanted to bring that up because I hope everyone will take time, you know, when they come to their favorite subclass, if it's a subclass that had a little spell list, take a look at that list because you're going to find often
super fun
that
spell
not
for like
only have some of the spells been
cocky,
swapped,
arrogant character.
you know, one spell for another, but sometimes the new spell that's on the list is a brand new spell for the game.
Perfect. So
Yeah,
we
Big
have
Bad Evil
the
Guy having
Oath
that
of the
spell is a great
Ancients
idea.
Paladin. This is one of my favorites. It feels like the Green Knight. It's a very unique feel from any other class or subclass.
And when we created the Oath of the Ancients originally for the 2014 Player's Handbook, it really was in answer to the question, what would a paladin look like who had been a part of elven culture or, you know, another culture that maybe is less sort of knight in shining armor, but still, you know, would have these noble oaths and have a lot of the dedication that we associate with paladins, but again, more of a nature or, you know, or druidic or elven aesthetic. And so the answer to that was the Oath of the Ancients. The art for it is wonderful, as is the art for all of the subclasses in the book. And we have made some enhancements to the Oath as it has migrated into the new Player's Handbook. One of those is that the subclass's aura of warding at level 7 now just straight up gives people in your aura resistance to necrotic, psychic, and radiant damage.
Very strong.
Because this paladin is all about protecting people from, in some cases,
the previous chat,
foes from beyond.
It used to just give resistance to damage from spells.
So that's why their aura now will protect
and the
you
issue
from
with that
the magic
was
of
very specific campaigns.
Necrosis, which we associated with the negative energy plane, radiant damage, which is from the positive energy plane, and then psychic damage, which we often associate with the far realm.
And radiant damage can feel also very creepy. It doesn't have to feel like celestial and happy and good. This can also be something, this can feel like radioactive.
Exactly.
So it's not always a benevolent or natural source.
Exactly. Just as necrotic damage is not always malevolent.
Right.
Because death can be it is a natural part of the world. Also, in the subclass, we have increased the range of the subclass's Nature's Wrath ability, which is their entanglement ability. So if you love playing an Oath of the Ancients Paladin and tangling people up in roots, well, now you can do that even easier because the range of that ability has been extended. We have also, in the subclass's Undying Sentinel ability, made it so
level
that
20.
if you pop back from 0, you don't pop back with just 1 hit point. And
This
just
is
as we
good.
did in the Barbarian, you now pop back with a bunch of hit points so that
You mentioned it with the
don't get
Barbarian.
knocked
Good.
down immediately after you popped back up.
Perfect.
Those are the main changes.
I can't say how much
here,
because he didn't
and
specify, but it's
really
good.
Just,
It's much better.
Our
There's
effort
pop
to
back with
make
one
this
abilities.
great
Now I
subclass
feel
just
like I'm gonna
even
want to
better
change to
at
more.
the fun stuff it was already doing.
I love that even the subclasses that are very
Because it does
tried
feel a
and
bit
true
shit when you just get
are
out with
still
one.
getting,
No, Vengeance
a
coming up next.
a facelift, an upgrade.
I like
and
Vengeance, I think.
Something extra to do.
And that is true of every subclass in the book, that no matter how solid it was, it's getting some new upgrade. And so that leaves us then with the Oath of Vengeance. This was another subclass that
The
was
pitch for this one's
super
sick.
solid, but still has some fun new toys within it. One of the biggies, because it affects the subclass's most iconic ability, its Vow of Enmity, is you no longer have to use your bonus action to activate your Vow of Enmity. This you can now use simply as a part of the attack action.
Wow.
And we've also made it so that if the target of your Vow of Enmity perishes, you now have a window of time where you can transfer it to somebody else. Because it used to be that you would place it on somebody, and if they got
Very nice.
felled quickly enough,
Then it's gone.
it's like, well,
I guess that's done. Or someone else
It's like
kills them.
Hexblade.
and so now,
and it's like
similar
Hex
to
and
how
Hunter's
Hunter's
Mark.
Mark functions, where you can move that spell around, you can now also move around your Vow
Much
of
better.
Enmity. At level 20, with their Avenging Angel ability, we've made 2 major enhancements. One of them is you can now activate it as a bonus action instead of an action.
Thank you.
That'd be the
And
same around-
it
around the-
lasts for an
okay.
entire hour. And we did this because this feature includes flight.
Yeah, okay.
And we wanted the Oath of Vengeance Paladin to be able
Did it
to
already
use
last for
that
an hour?
flight to pursue somebody. And so watch out.
Go right into evil Superman mode and hunt them down. The new player's handbook is available for pre-order right
so
now.
a quick
on
video,
D&D
that
Beyond.
one.
You can find that link in
Not
the
very
video
long at all,
description.
really.
And you can also
like a 20-minute
find
one.
the new core rulebooks bundle for pre-order, both physical and digital. Thank you so much for watching. We have a ton of video content coming out about the new player's handbook and all the new core rulebooks, the new monster manual, the new Dungeon Master's Guide. So be sure to check out all of that content. And thank you for watching.
When did they make this upgrade? Because it already lasts for an hour. Did he get his wires crossed, maybe? Yeah, it's probably one of the other ones. It's probably going to last longer, but yeah. Maybe he wrote it down as just that being an update. Yeah. Do they have any, Okay, so anyway, let's talk about the changes then. Yeah, so Spite is now a base course spell. We'll go through each one. Yeah, for sure, Elmo. Yeah, you're probably right. Can all of them be fueled by a 5th level spell slot? I don't think they said. So I can't answer. So let's talk about what they did announce, though, because there's some things that they're not specific on. There's a couple of things which We're gonna have to wait, which you're gonna be like, oh, okay, interesting. Smite. Smite's now a spell. Paladin Smite is now a spell, no longer called Divine Smite. I assume they did this because it doesn't always have to be divine. I'm not a big fan of the name Paladin Smite. I think it's a little bit weak, but I suppose it's just because it's very specific to the Paladin. 50-50 on this one. I think it makes sense that they're trying to combat some of the stuff that they never intended. Oh, did they put it into an article? That's good. Oh, nice. This is really nice. Okay. So, Lay on Hands is now a bonus action, no longer affects diseases, but can be used on constructs and undead. This is great. They didn't even mention this. Damn. This is fantastic. It's just a good buff. You know, it should have always really been this way. How many people here play potions as a bonus action? I should say how many people don't. I feel like most people do, right? So this kind of fits under those kind of rules, where a lot of the kind of mediocre healing or like the other kind of slight, you know, very heavy resource-based healing coming off a bonus section makes sense. Yeah. So, spellcasting, they have access to spells at level 1 now. This is one thing I just didn't realize that they didn't get until I played a Paladin recently. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, you have nothing going on at Paladin level 1. Max for use in action. That's a fun idea. I actually like that. That's a good idea. And then, yeah, number of spells prepared is fixed. The weapon masteries, again, huge fan of weapon masteries. Why did I take away the disease part? I don't know why, honestly. It's weird that I imagine this doesn't get used often at all because where's diseases most of the time. Maybe they're just getting rid of the disease function and they're going for poison-based stuff to replace disease. You know, it's probably what they're going to do. Yeah. Choose 2 weapons you're proficiency with. Weapon mastery, fantastic. It's great. In fighting styles here at level 1 as well, instead of level 2, is also very, very good, right? So, level 1 is more front-loaded now, which is great. And you know, everything's good there. They've got the Tasha's Cauldron options officially baked in. Paladin Smite. You always have it prepared, of course, because it is literally just Smite. Can be used with unarmed strikes, which is fantastic, right? Because it was always such a stupid thing that you couldn't do that before. But it now requires a bonus action, and it's a spell, which you can take immediately after hitting a creature with an attack. So, you can only do this on your turn because it's a bonus action to prep it. Or to use it, but it's almost like a reactionary bonus action, which is interesting. It's kind of almost like it feels more like a reaction in its use, right? So it still functionally works the same. They've just taken away the ability to use it on like attacks of opportunity, or you know, with some of the other classes. It probably did need this balance change. It was always quite a front-loaded, very, very powerful spell. It's not my favorite change for it. I don't really necessarily have a better one in my mind right now, but I feel like yeah, I mean, they just don't want the wombo combos, right? They just don't want the wombo combos. Channel Divinity. Using twice now before short or long rest. So I like this a lot. This is great. I think the divinities in both Cleric and Paladin just don't feel like they get as much mileage as as other features and other classes, and it always feels like they're just kind of used in these one big moment, and it's not really, you know, a consistent portion of your character. So I think giving you a bit more use of them, and then the short or long rest is nice. You know, I'm glad about that. Divine Sense. Now, this one is not necessarily a buff or a nerf. The fact that it now lasts for, what, 10 minutes is cool. Right? And the scenario they gave is very good. But in the previous version, you could probably get more uses out of it. And because it was his own resource, it was kind of a scan. The way I imagine it was like an aura pops out and you look around and you just scan. Right? And you have to be in the right position to use it instead of walking around. An hour now? Is that an hour? Okay. I can't remember if he said hour or 10 minutes. If it's an hour, it's still like, it competes with your Channel Divinity now. It's not its own resource. It was 10 minutes, that's what I thought. I probably would have just upgraded it to last 10 minutes before. And just have it its own resource. And I feel like the only reason they didn't keep it as its own resource, I don't know, it's weird. I liked it. I liked it previously. Maybe they could have just done, you can do a scan or you spend it twice to get 10 minutes of it. I don't know. So I'm not a huge fan of adding that together. Paladin subclasses. Do they clarify these now? Alright, this is actually just a better, cleaner way to look at this. Oath of Devotion. Paladins who swear an oath of devotion, blah, 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 blah. So your sacred weapon, Holy Nimbus, each now lasts for 10 minutes, okay? So, this one is now bonus action. That's good. That's really good, right? For 1 minute, you add your charisma modifier to attack rolls made with a weapon. The weapon also emits bright light, etc. Right? This is great. Adding that as a bonus action is really nice because, again, you know, prep actions always kind of suck. People, you know, don't really like doing them. Conquest fits another niche. Yeah, but you have to bear in mind, a lot of this book is just bringing stuff over from Tasha's. So less restoration classes. So it now lasts 10 minutes instead of 1 minute, which is very, very good. Very, very good. And you can use it again by spending a level 5 spell slot Holy Nimbus, which is very, very nice. That's a good change, for sure. But obviously it's level 20. You're not going to really get much use out of that until later on in the campaigns. Most people won't ever experience that. There's also a new feature that replaces Purity Spirit in the form of Smite of Protection, which grants cover to you and your allies. So Purity Spirit was you're always under the effects of protection for evil and good, which is a great spell to be under the protection of. And for you personally, you might get more mileage out of this, which is, you know, you basically creatures that are aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead all have disadvantage attack rolls against you, right? Can't be charmed, fighting, protected by this. This was a lot stronger as a personal paladin, right? Oath of Devotion. But I think there's something to be said about the fact that if this is the paladin that protects others, why is it not really as kind of focused on that, I guess, right? The aura of devotion was always kind of shit. So I think this change is very nice that we've now got smite protection. It grants half cover. They just said cover. Half cover. If I remember right, it's plus 2 AC and advantage on dexterity saving throws. Right? I'm going to start to reference to 6E. Just to spite them. Wait, what do you mean? Makes 15 level 1 limited. It's because there's been a bit of change around on the class elements. Grant you cover to you and your allies when you're in the order of or Divine Smite. So it's a really strong one for you and your allies. Yeah, dex saves, yeah. Like, dexterity saving throws are probably the most common saving throw you ever do. Anything that you can dodge, get an advantage on that is huge. And then plus 2 AC is just amazing. It's essentially just giving Shield of Faith to your friends. And you. By the way, you are always under the form of Shield of Faith, essentially, for this, which is amazing. And you can stack Shield of Faith on top of it. Your AC can become insane on an Oath of Devotion. You go plate armor. Shield. You're at 20 AC already. Shield of Faith 22, 24 with this aura around you. Pretty fucking strong, right? And that's before any +1 shields or anything like that, or any other features that you might get. So really, really, really strong. And then spells in the form of Shield of Faith and Aid got tweaked, and Sanctuary and Lesser Restoration respectively. Okay. Oath of Glory. Aura of Alacrity now improved so that you don't have to start your turn in it. It's also a much bigger radius now. So super, super improved that one. All of the auras being stacked into the same aura now. Emanations. I really, really like that. It's not for me. I think it's stronger. I mean, disadvantage on attack rolls is great, but I feel like I like helping your allies more as a Devotion Paladin. With the other thing? Yeah, okay. Oh, you think... Yeah, you can refresh... Yeah. So... The auras all being stacked into one thing, I think is so much cleaner. It's so much better. Having 2 auras, which have different radiuses, is really awkward. It looks ugly as well when you're trying to play it. Having it all pushed into one thing benefits most classes. It's very good. And then also you get 1 hour on your Peerless Athlete thing, which lets you do, advantage on your strength checks, etc. Blah, blah. It's not super exciting. But the Yolandi's Regal Presence is very cool. They didn't deep dive into it, so I can't really tell you what it does specifically as a mechanic. But I think you'll like it. Based on what they said there, it's your Regal Presence can force people to kneel in front of you and base in your glory. It's a cool spell. Oath of the Ancients. Okay, good. They actually mention it specifically. Good. This is what I was wanting to talk about. Where the 2014 Ancient Paladin would usually go to 1 HP on Undying Sentinel instead of 0, you now get 3 times your Paladin level. Now, if you remember the Oath of the Ancients Undying Sentinels, level 15. Right? So you're going to get 45 HP back. This is huge. And honestly, I'm hoping this will be the case for the majority of these kind of features from now on that are baked into a class. Such as like Undead Warlock. I've got one of those features at level 10. It'd be nice if it's 3 times your level. Because it's one of those things where you hit 1 HP, it's very yo-yo effect. This is great on a species choice, but on your subclass, it's not that great, right? I like this a lot. I think that's a really cool way to do it. So that's really nice. Nature's Wrath also now affects each creature of your choice within 15 feet, right? Which is previously you get 1 creature of your choice within 10 feet that you can see. So the fact that this is now an AoE is pretty fucking good. I do think the previous version was probably too weak for an entire Channel Divinity. So now this feels more aligned to what Channel Divinity should feel like in strength. So it's really, really strong. It's front heavy strong, especially. You'll get more use out of it for sure. And an Elder Champion, see more love now requiring a bonus action instead of an action. Yeah, Oath of Ancients, decent buffs, clean, etc. Oh, also did they mention here the... Why is it not mentioning about the spells? Huh? Why did they put it here that the... Okay, so they mentioned this in the video. Instead of your aura giving instead of the aura giving resistance to damage from spells, it's now necrotic damage, radiant damage, and psychic damage. Now, psychic damage doesn't come up super much, right? Overall, that's going to be cleaner. Because the spells issue was that on an average campaign, how many fights are you targeted with spells? Right? I would say like 5%, 10%. 10%, if that, of your battles, you're going to be targeted by spells. Unless it's a very, very spell-heavy campaign. Now, on a very heavy spell campaign, I'd rather get an item that helps with that. But honestly, I think in most campaigns, spells just don't come up often on enemies, right? Magical. Now, see, if they'd changed it to resistance to damage from magical effects and spells, I think that would have been a huge competitor, but maybe too strong, right? And it also comes in down to the awkward question of what is considered a magical effect, and that whole question is goddamn annoying, right? But probably would have been closer to the original design of it. I think this one having blanket, necrotic, radiant, and psychic, I'm kind of like, I don't really get the design choice. That's also true, yeah. Because like the way they all just do that arcane blast. So I don't really necessarily understand the design choice of, like, they mentioned the positive, negative, and far realm planes and like being able to combat those. I just feel like that fits more Oath of the Watchers than Oath of the Ancients, because Oath of the Ancients to me is like guarding nature. I don't know. But it's still good. I mean, necrotic damage especially. Necrotic damage especially is a common one. Radiant less so. You don't really come across many creatures that are going to attack you with radiant damage, unless they bring a lot more enemies into the player's handbook. And then psychic, in the right campaign, is great to have resistance to. But yeah, it's a strange one. But it's good. It's good in the right campaign still. Like, I don't think it's super, super useful overall, but it's good. I mean, it's always nice to have resistances, right? And when it comes up, you're going to feel like a god. Faithful Steed at level 5. Now, this is very player specific. They're saying that Fine Steed is an iconic paladin spell. Sure, it's been with paladins for a long time, right? So, I get it. However, I kind of wish that this was a... I would rather something else at level 5. The mount's better than it used to. It has its own I'm sure this is shown in the 2014 version, right? Yeah. Having its own stat block that's better is great, right? I just don't really like Fine Squire. Do you know what? I'm totally with you. In fact, that is the idea I prefer, right? This is what I would have done instead. You have a spiritual aid, which is like Spirit Squire. And you can have a spell that was like Find Aid, right? Or Find, something like that, right? And it can manifest as rather a steed or like a squire, like ghost, Because I don't, like, when I play a paladin, in a certain campaign, would I want to ride around on a steed? Sure, right? But I don't think, I never want to be a paladin that goes into a fucking cave with a horse. I don't want to be a paladin that's going down into a deep, dark catacomb dungeon riding on the back of a horse. I just don't, like, that class fantasy does not appeal to me. So having it baked into the very base of the class is a little, like, it almost encourages you to always use it. And I feel like the issue for me is I like the idea of having a companion, but I really find, like, yeah, steeds and mounts are very, very specific to, like, an environment and fight. I think the Fine Steed is a core paladin class fantasy for a lot of people. For a bunch, yeah. But I can tell you honestly, like I for the majority of paladins I've seen, I've never seen people really use it. A couple. Why would you want it in a dungeon? It's a pet. You can have a pet that's constantly attacking the enemies. In line, yeah. I think going back to what you said, Garrett, I would like it to be a spirit guardian kind of thing, right? Where it can manifest itself as a steed for when you want a steed, but it could also manifest itself as a squire. Having a a soldier in there who's fighting alongside you, I think fits Paladin even more. Because the idea that you have a squire, great. Yeah, this feels like you'd be an idiot not to have this. Right? Because it's a free casting of the spell. Like, this is... You are nerfing yourself if you don't want this class fantasy. And I would prefer if it was like, you could manifest it as whatever you want. That's how I'm going to give it to players. Is be like, I'm going to change the Find Steed spell. Look at their new stat block and say you can manifest this as like a spiritual squire. If you want. Because I think that's cool. Find Butler. I just think it's kind of like squires are knights, fighters, not paladins to me. In that class fantasy in November though, I'd bite back with when you think of a knight, do you think of someone that rides on the back of a mount? If you're associating a steed with a knight, I would say paladins are closer to knights than fighters are closer to knights. I think fighters insinuate to me battlefield general, battlefield fighter, gladiators, that sort of thing. Whereas a paladin is always closer to a knight. Fight has cavalier, sure. But counterpoint. Knights in history all take tenets. They all take oaths. They all devote themselves to a cause. You don't have to do that as any fighter. Every single one of those people riding to Pelennor Fields from Rohan was a cavalier. In that sense. Or similar to. So yeah. I think you can play a knight fighter. But I think paladins are innately knightish. So... I don't know. I'm going to edit that, I think, into Find... What's a good name for it? Where you could manifest it as Find Steed. Find... Like, Knight's Call, maybe. Celestial Companion. There you go. That's a good way. Yeah, Celestial Companion. I know there's a Celestial spell. I'd alter it to be different. It'd be really fun to have just a Find Companion. Yeah, that could be good. Because I think, yeah, then... Because right now, me as a player that doesn't really enjoy mountain combat unless I'm in a certain position, if I go down into the depths of like a... I'm going down to the Lich's domain. And he lives in a deep, dark catacomb dungeon. At level 6, say I am, or 7 I am. I'm finding his whole, like, his where he last was, his last lab or something. If I'm not casting Find Steed, I'm nerfing myself. Because it's a free cast once per day. And so you're kind of forced into the class fantasy. It'd be like playing a paladin that doesn't use Divine Smite. It's just a bit awkward. So I personally don't like that. Whereas I think if you had it as Find Companion, you could even just... I don't think anyone's going to go against the class fantasy of having even just a light source next to you that can help empower, because you can manifest that however you want. Abjure Foes. It's a new paladin feature. Allows you to spend your channel divinity to target a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier and force them to make a wisdom save. On a failed save, a creature is frightened by you. And while frightened this way, they are only moving, taking an action, or a bonus action on their turn. It's a very powerful way to control the battlefield. So if your paladin features a control aspect, the 2024 has you covered. So yeah, it's limiting people to action, bonus action, or movement is very, very, very strong. It's a very powerful ability in general. Bonus actions, yeah. A lot of BAUs. So it's a cool feature. Strong. Restoring Touch, another new feature for the 2024 Paladin. Restoring Touch gives you an alternate use of your lay on hand points. You can now choose to remove one condition from a list of options and can do this even multiple conditions if you spend enough points. Okay. Lay of hands being better is always good. 8-bit boons is the cool level 19 thing. And then, oh look, they're showing you True Sight's one. They go up by 1 to a maximum of 13. You gain True Sight out to a radius of 60 feet. But this is all just big boons. And then your level 20 is all baked into there. So overall, I think I'm 50-50 on the Smite. I think it's gonna. It does feel like it still competes, and I think they could have worded it better to make it. I get why they've done it to stop these massive super wombo combos, but I feel like there might have been a better wording of keeping it on its own. I would prefer to see Divine Sense be its own resource still. I like that we're getting more uses of some stuff. I think that the changes to the auras are great. I don't like Faithful Seed a lot at all. But I can say now that we've seen it, Paladin was one of my least favorite changed ones, and where I was a bit like, Where I was a bit like, you know, I'm not super excited by the new Paladin. Some stuff is cool. I mean, if you're going for a level 1 campaign, level 1 Paladin, which I just experienced over on Brett's campaign, really has nothing. You can do Lay on Hands and you can do your Divine Sense. Otherwise, you're just a roll dice to hit. So I like the fact that level 1 now actually feels like you have some substance, but you know, could be a more elegant solution. I don't think it should be in a spell. I think just the wording could have been better. I think the tough thing is that you get it, right? It's like a patch note that people put on an MMO. When someone finds something broken, they patch it up and they make it maybe too patched up. Other Smite spells are still there. But, you know, now they're competing up. The best thing about the Smite that they've kept in at least is that you can do the bonus action after attacking. That's good as well, but yeah. So, overall, I would argue quite big nerfs to Paladin as a damage source. I think as a team player, it's much, much better. That's cool. But I feel like from the amount of Oath of Vengeance Paladins we see, not many of them want to be as team player as I think Wizards might think. But I think the best thing that they've done is the auras. I like the auras being cleaned up. That's nice. Simple, sweet, clean. No Oathbreaker? Yeah, it would have been nice to see Oathbreaker in this official one. I think they could have taken away... I mean, I know that they want to do like at least one Tasha's Cauldron one in each one. I think they could have taken away Oath of Glory personally, because I think Oath of Glory is a very cool subclass, but I think it's one of the more niche ones. I think Devotion makes sense as the big... Devotion is the Paladin's Paladin. Vengeance is the... I really want that edgy backstory, so it's really fun Paladin. And then Oath of the Ancients is a class. Oh, maybe they... Okay. Maybe they should have put Oath of the Ancients and then put Oathbreaker in, maybe. I don't know. I wonder if they'll do the rest of the subclasses soon. Do you think they're going to release another book with all of the other subclasses updated? Like maybe a year afterwards? Yeah, it did, Killstill. They wanted you to do more attacks with your action, but it does now compete your bonus action quite a bit. That's probably a good one. What I probably have preferred for the Channel Divinity, instead of doing a bonus action, maybe use your reaction. Throw in a reaction, bonus action combo. Like 2026, do you think so? Because there's a bunch of other subclasses which are probably missing, right? I would like to see a book that comes out with 4 of the subclasses from each one. Yeah, it's a front heavy one for sure, Killster. I think yeah, if they hadn't made it a spell, I think a lot of the changes would have been really clean with all the channel divinities. But I think there's a lot of things in there. I only see the Darts Bard in here. I can't say, but I'm excited to talk about the Warlock and the monk especially. Saw last night that so many people are annoyed that Artificer isn't in PHB. Isn't that whole like legal thing though, right? With the Artificer. Do you know what I would have liked them to do? Bring out a new class. I know it's a lot of work. I'd have liked something super new. Super, super, super new. But again, like I've said, chat, this is 5.2. That's why when someone earlier on, I don't know if they're still here, said, I'm going to keep referring to a 6th edition to annoy wizards. I don't think this is even 5.5. I don't think this is even 5.5. I think this is 5.2. I think this is the equivalent to a remaster. You know? This is a hey, we've remastered the game as opposed to a remake. For the most part. The playtest Warlock, that was basically a new class? Oh, you mean the Unearthed Arcana one? I mean, there's a lot of changes, but I don't know if I wouldn't call it a new class. No genie in the new PHP, but subclasses are backwards compatible. Yeah. I think they're going to need to do some work for that, though, because the level differences of leveling is tough. New games in the book and some new ones, yeah. I think the new have they announced all of the subclasses that are in it? Is the Dinosaur Druid in the Big B's Giants book? They announced. Could you link me that just so I don't spoil anything? Did they name which ones? Mechanics onto the old classes, because I like all these, but the new smite thing looks weird. You could definitely do that. I will say, if you're going to give your paladins everything, but then keep smite as it was, you will have some very powerful paladins. What I would do for your paladins, if you want to try and do that, is say, hey, paladins, you can only smite once per turn. Once per turn, once per round, I guess. Yeah. Once per round, probably. If you wanted to keep the old, for some balance changes, I would say would make sense. Because then you could take some of the cooler stuff and do that. I'd almost say take some of the stuff you like from 2014 and put it on the new ones. I would recommend changing to 2024's version because from now on the designs are going to be focused around this. Sorry, I got it, Consuela. Thank you for that, by the way. Consuela. So let's go through each one and see which one. I'm really actually, do you know, Barbarian's the other one I'm really excited to talk about. On the Barbarian list, if they did another book in say a year and a bit's time, what book? And it was a new subclasses, like taking the old ones and then putting them back on and cleaning them up. If you had to choose 4 Barbarian ones, which ones would you choose? Let's bring them up. Giant Beast, Wild Magic, and Storm. The only problem with a couple of those is they wouldn't change much. Zealot's on there already. Zealot's one of the ones here. I think because you want some of the oldest ones. I think they're going to get to change the most. I think Storm, and then probably Ancestral Guardian, sorry. The Spike Armor one would be fun. Do you think it's not getting updated now? Wild Magic would be a nice one to look at. I don't think they would change it much though. I think the thing is, everything from Tasha's is barely getting changed. You know? Way off, warrior off. Yeah, I'm not sure other than that. So I feel like they could definitely clean up some stuff. Right, feels like the new Weapon Master battle stuff sort of steps across some boundaries. No. All I'll say is no. Maybe that would change philosophy. Me too. Yeah, I wish that was changed. Yeah, I would really like to see, of the Barbarian subclasses, which we haven't seen updated, Ancestral Guardian would be a really fun one to update. Battle Rager, it'd be interesting to see what they do with this. Storm Herald needs a huge cleanup. And then, yeah, I think those are the major three, right? Because a lot of the way to look at this, by the way, is that they already started this design philosophy back in Tasha's. So everything from Tasha's onwards is pretty much what they want it to be. Everything pre-Tasha's and kind of pre-Theros is what you should be looking at for, like, updates. Those are the ones which would get major updates if they did it. So, Bard, College of Dance, Glamour, Law, Valor. For Bards, I think Path of the Swords Bard and what's the other one called? It's not Glamour. It's like Glamour. Swords Bard would definitely need an update. Yeah. What needs updating? Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, if they released another book and it had mostly the stuff from Tasha's, it'd just be very, very slightly updated, and I wouldn't really be as interested in that book. I want to see stuff completely come back up. Spirits Bard. Again, that's from Tasha's. Well, no, it's not. It's from Van Richten's, right? That wouldn't get touched up much. You got to bear in mind, anything after Tasha's is pretty much what they'd want it to be. Very, very small changes. Whereas, like, if they did Swords Bard, they would do major changes. Let me sit back a little bit so I don't have to get hit by the sun. Cleric has a bunch. Let me just get on here and I can just do it like this. Cleric has a bunch that they could fix up, right? Whispers, that's the one I was thinking of. Whispers and Swords are the major two I think would need cleaning up. That'd be great. That'd be a really nice book if they could put those two in. There are so many here that could use a cleanup and an update, right? Because so many of them were in beforehand. So I think Cleric has plenty of options. If we had 4 more Clerics, I would probably go for, personally, maybe Tempest, Nature, Knowledge or Arcana, and Death, or maybe Forge. Actually, let's go Death, Forge, Knowledge or Arcana, and then Tempest. Those would be probably my 4. Clean them all up. But that's an easy set of options. Druid, Circle of Land, Circle of the Moon, Circle of the Sea, Circle of the Stars. The one that I'm sad that's not here is Spores. Spores Druid, I think, would really, really slap to get an update. What other ones? Spores, Shepherd could use updates. And then Dreams. Yeah, Spores needs its own stat block for its zombie. That's what it needs. Give it a full unique stat block for the zombie. Yeah, and Shepherd needs to be cleaned up with summons. So I could see them doing that. Fighter, I would like to see of the old fighters, Cavalier. Arcane Archer. Cavalier. Samurai. As the major three. Purple Dragon Knight. I mean, honestly, maybe if it got its own, like, unique thing, it'd be cool. Velxer, thanks so much for the 35 months. Monk, we've got the Warriors instead of Ways. Mercy is always great, so clean Shadow, Elements, Open Hand. I think for Monks, what would I like to see updated? Long Death, Kensai. Those are probably the two major ones. Drunken Master. Sun Soul, that'd also be a nice one to clean up. Base class needs a good bit of tuning. No, that's all coming out. We're talking about, right now we're under discussion of a book that comes out next. If they were to go back and clean up even more. We already know the base Monk is going to be cleaned up because it's coming in the 2024 handbook. This is just stuff that they haven't, all of this is the stuff coming out. I've read all of this and it's yeah, it's all cleaned up. So I feel like this is the stuff that I want to see in the next book, because they should hopefully do another book. They're not. Hopefully they don't just ban it and say backwards compatible. Sorry, that would suck. You know, because a lot of these, despite saying backwards compatible, just don't. They're not on the same power scale. It's a bit of a mess. Paladin. What Paladin ones did they miss out that could be really good and cleaned? Conquest, for sure. Redemption. Crown. Those three are huge. And Oathbreaker. In fact, you've got 4 there that just need complete cleaning up. I would love those 4 to be cleaned up. Crown is such a cool concept for a Paladin, and I just don't see it. Crown, Oathbreaker, Conquest, and Redemption. Hopefully they make another book and put those 4 in. I especially want Crown and Oathbreaker out of those. Again, I just have to say this because I've said it like 8 times. They're not going to be updating anything from Tasha's onwards. Watch this from Tasha's. If they put this into a book, it will have like 2 wording changes. They won't update it. Everything from Tasha's onwards is just pure. Yeah. It's fully what they want. Yeah. They won't touch it. Ranger. What Ranger ones could use an upgrade? A Paladin needs the most, I think. Fey Wanderer, they have that? I can't remember. They do. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember the new one. Horizon Walker. And then Hunter are not in here. I wonder when Ranger's going to be. I'm looking forward to discussing Ranger. Respect, I just was not feeling it. Yeah, Crown Paladin is such a great concept flavor-wise. And then Rogue. Rogue, off the top of my head, Scout could use an upgrade. Swashbuckler, Mastermind, Inquisitive. Those 4 would be really nice. Phantom. They won't do it though, right? Again, came out during a time where this is their modern one. Sorcerer also has a bunch. Like right now, the ones in here are Aberrant, Clockwork, Draconic, and Wild Magic. Divine would need it. One Shadow, Storm would all be nice to change up. They really don't have many subclasses. A new one would be nice for them as well. Yeah, Scout needs work for sure. I mean, this is all me copying, right? Warlock, what Warlock ones are missing from this? Warlock got a good cleanup. I guess the Undying, if people really want it, I guess so, because this is kind of close to being a Necromancer, right? And the Fathomless, I suppose, maybe, but again, that probably wouldn't be touched. Celestial, potentially. Oh, they've already got Celestial, sorry. Some of these I've just forgotten about. Hexblade, yeah, Hexblade. Hexblade needs a whole super just new thing. Undying and Undead, yeah. Undying is the one which is a bit closer to, like... Yeah, I never really understood Undying as much. Undead kind of replaced it and just did it better. I'd rather see Hexblade leave. Do you know what I would like for Hexblade is... I would like to see something which is like... an item-focused Warlock. I can't say PJB. Unless they've covered it, I can't say. I would like Hexblade to be less specific, and it's more of a you found a cursed item, you know, as a concept for a Warlock. I think that's cool. And then finally Wizard, a bunch. There's a bunch here, right? There's all the other schools that they don't cover. They got Abjurer, Diviner, Evoker, Illusionist. We still got Conjuration, Enchantment would be a lovely one to see. Transmutation I want to see, and Necromancy. Yeah, we've got the other four. And then War Magic. I mean, they actually have more than what I'd like to see, you know. I would like to see like a Battle Mage. And then also Blade Singing. Blade Singing would be an awesome one to see redone. There's so many for them. Wizards need so many more. I would say Necromancy, Transmutation, Conjuration, and Blade Singing would be my full guess. Full hope. No. It's 4 of each. It's 4 of each now. They cleaned it up to be fairer. It's 4 of each. Power level wise versus other classes. Yeah, I mean, of the classes, the ones that I'm most excited or intrigued by the discussion of, Wizards are definitely up there. No Necromancer is sad. I'll say the artwork they have for Illusionist is really cool. No Necromancer is really sad. Because for me, I mean, hey, the best case scenario is they just go, we're going to turn Necromancy and Undead and like spirits into its own class, but they're never going to do that. It feels fundamental. And this is also this 5.2 of theirs, right? One D&D is a cleanup of mechanics that were really bloat heavy, and one of those major mechanics they've cleaned up since Tasha's has been summoning. Yeah, Workshop, I agree. I think if you just sit down and say what the most popular wizard archetypes, I would say the evocation kind of super powerful battle wizard that goes in there with loads of big fire is number 1. Then I would argue Necromancy is your second like biggest pick of like, you know, that style. Abjuration also makes sense in that top group because it's far more you know, like that battle mage kind of style. But Necromancy is one of the 4 staples for me. Yeah, it's always surprising. I think in like everything, right? We see it in so many other games as well. I think when you look at classes and you look at them in other games and how they are in other games, you can see what people kind of take on as their archetype and stuff, right? Because even if say, let's say necromancy wasn't a popular archetype standard wise, game designers turning it into such an archetype has caused people to love necromancy in different games like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls games, Diablo, those kind of games, where it's become such a staple in that kind of thing that it's people coming into D&D who are new look at necromancy as one of their options. So I don't know what to do minion classes. You say that, but then there's a bunch of minion-based builds in this. Fine Steed being one. The Oath of the... Sorry, not the Oath. The Great Old One having the summoning ability with that one. Some single ones, yeah, that's true. I guess multiple summons is something that's been definitely altered. I mean, do you know how I would do it for me personally? Is I would summon up a swarm and do swarm mechanic based one, Yeah, let them choose between those, swarm or big stat block guy. Like you build your own abomination or you have a swarm of zombies. Does Druid get a swarm summon? Can't say. Can I say? But in terms of backwards capability, now that we compatibility, now that we are openly talking about subclasses and stuff, it's tough. I think it's compatible in the same way that, sure, you can build a raft out of logs, but you're not going to get as far as a boat. You know what I mean? Where it's like, sure, a log raft does float in your lake, but a boat's going to go much further. And so yes, you can do it, but you're going to feel loads worse if you're a 2014 player. For the most part. Useful as nipples on armor. Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, you put a paladin next to another paladin, and that first paladin is showing off about how he can do his divine smite more often. But then the next paladin over is like, oh yeah, by the way, every attack that I do that hits, I'm using a greatsword, I cleave every time. Oh. Yeah. Imagine playing a... I say this, but there are some things which I feel actually the 2014 might be better. We'll see. It's tough. But again, I still treat this as 5.2, not 5.5. I think so much of it is the same. There's a lot of cool new additions, but it's more of a remaster. 5.3. We'll put it closer to the 5.5. But there you go. There you go. So hopefully the next one, if tomorrow's got another one, we'll watch that. Does cleave work with smite damage across both people that I hit? Cleave is not AoE. Cleave is if you miss, you do your damage equal to your ability modifier. Dance. Yeah, I'll talk about the dance Unearthed Arcana. I love the dance Unearthed Arcana. And that was late in its design process. Oh, is that Graze? Which one's Cleave again? Is Cleave... Oh, Cleave... Does Cleave hit another target? I can't remember. Is it Graze? Okay, no, you're right. Yeah. Does it work with the new thing? Maybe? I don't think so. But yeah. It'd be interesting to see where they go for it. If they're doing a video a day, then we'll try and keep up. We'll have to watch 3 on Monday. What class would you like to see added to the game? If you had to add a new class, what would you add? For me, I feel like there's a missing witch, and like spirit-based one like that, I would love to see. Like between a warlock and a druid. Yeah, witch shaman. Because I think shaman, you could have a witch invoked in that. I mean, technically, you could do that into the druid subclass, but I would rather see a totally new class with some new functions. Tactician, yeah, nice. Yeah, commander on the battlefield would be really cool. Like the equivalent to a bard, but for martial. Yeah, there's definitely room for it. Definitely room for it. I'm honestly, the more I'm thinking about this, I'm definitely gonna edit the, I'm gonna edit this fine steed. Faithful steed. I'm gonna change it up, clean it up, turn it into a fine companion. Better artificer would be nice, I agree. I think it's a pretty good class if you're in the right, with the right DM, but I think it's bog standard is a bit awkward. All right. Well, chat, we are going to... I thought I was going to be playing Elden Ring today, but the Steam page was wrong. We might play it later. For a little bit. Get started. But I do want to start with it now just to get my shit. Just like sneak attack. Yeah, honestly, I would probably just say to my players, like, look, go for the intended smite. They don't want you doing the big old barbarian smite or some crazy ass wombo combo 3 in a round kind of shit. That stuff's good for one shot.
Peggy 16.
Ouch. Why is it so loud? Yeah, this unlocks in approximately 4 hours now. If the download isn't that big for Shadow of the Erdtree, then I will start it tonight, I think, a little bit. They had a similar thing, Divine Map, but they reworked into an optional feat. I prefer optional. I think actually a cool feat for it would be really nice. Yeah, Celestial Companion would be really cool. Maybe you don't say Celestial, though, because you could probably have an Oathbreaker version of it. You could probably let them do Divine Cold or Radiant Cold or Necrotic. But yeah, it's a bit strange to me. All right. I'm thinking we're going to open up Elden Ring. Yeah, better. We're going to open up Elden Ring. We're going to look at our character. We're going to test to see if it all still works. And you can help me respec if I need to. I want to go bleed build again. I got through the majority of the game bleed build, and I changed for the last boss to cold because it did more damage. And I haven't touched that character since. So now I don't know how to play that character at all. So I need just something to get me to the DLC. And I need to remember how to play. Give him something cool. Yeah. I think a lot of stuff got updated in the Monsters of the Multiverse, right? Or a bunch of the side ones did. So I think we start with Elden Ring. Probably for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes just to kind of clean up, get my Elden Ring prepped for the DLC. Then we'll go to our BG3 roguelike for a little bit. If we die, swap to Dark and Darker. If we don't, we'll probably just carry on going. And then... yeah. do that. All right. Elden Ring for a little bit, not long, because we'll be playing it anyway. I want to have my character prepped for the DLC. So as soon as we do have it downloaded, we can do it. All right. Yeah, I believe they've changed. I know they've changed it to species now, which I think is a good change. A lot of people like saying ancestry. I think species makes sense. And I know that they've definitely cleaned a bunch of them up. You'll see some familiar stuff. You'll see some new stuff for sure. Okay.